Do lines actually exist? And I'm going to, spoiler, I'm going to ruin the mystery right at the beginning of this video. The answer is no, lines do not exist in real life, not in artwork, not in the real world. And I know what you're thinking. Hold on a second. I see line work in artwork all the time. There's lines all over the place when you look close. Well, I guess in the way that you and I both usually think of lines, yeah, of course they do. But what is a line really? In real life, lines don't exist. So when you look at this painting, for example, of Princess Leia, you might look at an area right here on the neck, and you might see this area here in the back. You kind of see this line. It's not really a line, though. It's kind of a long shape that comes to a point. Same thing in the front here. It looks like a line, but what it's meant to be when you kind of look at it as a whole, that's just kind of like this deep shadow separating the collar from the neck. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty here a little bit more. This whole thing about line art, what it really is, it's this abstract idea where when we draw lines around things, it separates them. And for some reason, even though those lines don't actually exist, we kind of see it and we understand it. Now, you might be saying, what do you mean the lines don't exist? You drew them, they're there. Here is what I mean. If you look at my hand, right? If I were to hold my hand up like this, if you were to illustrate this, you would draw lines going around my thumb and around my fingers, right? But here's the thing. In real life, there are no lines. There's no black Sharpie line that's drawn around my limbs. It's just not there. But sometimes the easiest way to separate the colors and tones here in the foreground with everything happening in the background, sometimes putting lines around things just helps decipher and understand things a little bit more. I'm going to do a deeper dive in another video talking about when you might want to incorporate line work into your artwork. For example, you might see here behind the neck, you see like those red lines that I use there. It's kind of a stylistic thing. When do you want to add that line work and when don't you? Again, you might be looking at this saying, what are you talking about? Look at all the lines in the hair. I know it seems that way, but when you really look close, everything going on in the hair, those aren't lines, they're long shapes, moving from thick to thin. There's all kinds of really neat design elements happening, but each thing that you see that you think of as a line, there is a thickness to it, and it's really just a shape. It might be a really long shape, but it's still just a shape. Eyelashes, really just shapes. All right, so now that you're tripping out on that for a while, I'm going to do another video follow-up, and I'm going to talk about when to incorporate line work into your full color illustration. If you're doing painting, if you're working digital, when to do it, when not to do it, and we're going to talk about it. Comprende? Okay, good. See you guys soon.